A new survey gives us a more detailed look at the issue of homelessness. The 23rd annual Snapshot survey was done in October by the Association of Gospel Rescue Missions, including Mel Trotter Ministries in Grand Rapids. The survey says that 34% of people who go to rescue missions throughout North America say they're homeless for the first time, a statistic that rescue missions say is rising. At Mel Trotter, 44% of people said they've never been homeless before. For many, homelessness is a long-term problem. 38% of the homeless at Mel Trotter say they've been in their situation for more than a year. When it comes to those who are seeking help, most are single people, but 50% of the families at Mel Trotter are women with children. The survey also shows a growing number of people who become homeless experience physical violence within the past year.
Wanted to learn more about this survey and what it reveals about homelessness in West Michigan, and joining us live in studio for some insight, Reverend Chico Daniels, President and CEO of Mel Trotter Ministries. Reverend Daniels, thanks for coming in tonight.
Thank you for having me.
There's a lot of information, a lot of statistics that came out in that survey. What's your takeaway? Is there anything that stood out?
Well, I think homelessness and poverty is on the increase in America. I think with the economy and the dire circumstances that people are facing, their options are limited today. And I think here in West Michigan, we're seeing the numbers with women and children on the increase, and that's a tragic consequence of the economy, in my opinion.
Do you think this is poverty-driven, especially when it comes to women with kids, and in some instances, fathers with children?
I think so. I think, as I told you earlier, my definition of poverty is a lack of options. And I think when people run out of options for employment, it has some devastating consequences. And we're seeing people come to the mission who would otherwise be able to work. These are first-time people who've never been homeless before. And in fact, some people who've been contributing to the mission before are now having to come and get help themselves.
First-time homelessness on the rise. Homelessness for veterans, too, quite high.
That's up by 17% here in Michigan. And you know, this is the part of the country, part of the state that we're wanting to make sure we take care of our veterans better than anyone else. And so we still have our work cut out for us, taking care of those who've been traumatized by the war.
Long-term homelessness, where does that stand here in West Michigan? Are you able to pinpoint, on average, how long folks would need help?
Well, we have a one-year program to help people get back on their feet. We're partnering with Habitat for Humanity to help build homes. We're working with the Homeless Coalition group here in West Michigan, and we're doing, I believe, a better part to our part to help people not fall through the cracks and end up chronically homeless, because there is a population of people who are never going to be able to live on their own again, and that involves the mentally ill and you know, those veteran types who've been devastated by the trauma of war. They're going to need a lot more help than what we can give them at the mission. But we want to keep those first-timers from becoming chronically homeless and end up living in the mission as a lifestyle.
You almost get the sense that everyone's resources are being pushed to the very limit.
Amen. And we're all in this together, and as far as my peers go across the country, I'd rather be here in Michigan because our people our donors are extremely generous and supportive here in West Michigan.
Reverend Chico Daniels with Mel Trotter, thanks for coming in tonight.
Thank you for having me.